All right, trigger warning, okay? Do not do this unless you are severely suicidal and you are on your last leg of hope. I'm going to say it again. Do not do this unless you are severely suicidal and you are on your last leg of hope, okay? So I'm going to tell y'all what I did, but I didn't do it on my own accord. Listen. So for those of you that are new here, I always talk about how I have a gift that I do not want, okay? With this gift, and I'm telling you I don't want it. You can ask my best friends. I tell them all the time, bro, I pray all the time for God to take this gift away from me. I don't want the gift, okay? With this gift comes me seeing things about people that I do not want to see. So when I see things about people, I either have to address it, follow through on what I saw, or give you a hint and let you know that I saw something, okay? If you know me, if I give you a hint and I say, hey, the story of, was it Jude? Oh my God. If I give you the story of Jude, don't, Bible thumpers, mind your business, don't come for me. If I give you the story of Jude and I'm like, hey, remember when he was on the ship and God told him to do something and he didn't listen, and everybody on that ship suffered because he didn't listen? And the storm came and destroyed everything in that ship because one person didn't listen to God or was running from God. If I give you that story, that means I know something and you need to figure it out because it's that embarrassing. Okay. Anyway, focus. So one night I was at the edge. Okay. Mom's trial is coming up. The jury is being picked out. All the things. So gift activated, right? And I'm like, come on, God. Ugh. Come on. So, I'm wrestling with God and I'm like, bruh, the person you telling me to contact, what am I going to tell this person? What am I going to tell this person? Why am I contacting you? So I said, we're going to move by faith. I trust you. Hit the person up. This is an ex, by the way. That's why I said do not do this unless you are led or you are on your last leg of hope and you are suicidal. So contacted the ex. Hey, this is Dana. Homeboy contacted me so bad. He contacted me fast. He was like, Dana from da-da-da-da-da. And I said, yeah. So he's like, hey, what's up? And I was like, what's up? had an attitude. What's up? So he's like, is everything okay? Because the last time that we talked, which was years ago, I'm talking about stacks of years ago. But he was the first boyfriend that I had that made me like a stepmother. So like, he has a son. Love that little boy. Like he was my own. Okay. Anyway, so he's like, what's up? How are you? And I was like, I'm fine. And he could notice by the tone in my voice that I was kind of like, so he was like, Dana, what's wrong? I know you. And I was like, no, I mean, And he's like, Dana, what's wrong? I said, all right, fuck it. I said, listen, I'm doing a fuck nigga survey and I'm just trying to check off the boxes. I swear to God, what I said, I'm just trying to check off the boxes of like, So he was like, you know what? I can't even be mad at you. So he started cracking up. By this time, we're on the phone, like talking. It's like an hour and a half conversation over the phone. So he's like, you know what, Zayna, I can't even be mad at you. He was like, I'm not gonna lie, like, you're the one girl that I let get away because of how foolish I was. And I don't know what this season is called, but like, everybody wanna apologize. The one person that I need to apologize, which is my stepfather, that's the one right there. Okay, but anyway, so he's like, I fucked up with you, and I'm gonna give y'all the rundown. The nigga cheated, okay? And he's like, I fucked up with you, and I don't even have no excuse for it. I just know at the end of the day, like, you will always be the one girl that I fucked up with that I regret. And he was like, I'm not even gonna lie to you right now. He's like, I swear to everything, talking to you right now is actually giving me peace because I wanted to apologize to you so bad and you would not let me. You blocked me on everything and you just went cold turkey on me. You didn't even give me a chance to apologize. And he was like, he's like, talking to you right now is giving me peace to the point where like I feel so relieved. Like this is a weight off of my chest. Because he was like, I didn't want you to think that I was a bad person. I just made stupid decisions. And I said, okay, God, I see why you had me contact this man. Okay. But that wasn't it. So he's like, you know, tell me what's going on with you. Let's catch up. So I said, okay. So we're catching up, and I had to tell him that my mom died. So I told him, and I had like a frog in my throat. You know, when you're trying to prevent yourself from crying, it was like one of those. So I was like, I can't believe I told this nigga. So I told him that my mom died. And he was like, Danny, you forgot? I was like, forgot what? He was like, you don't remember that I lost my mom and my dad? You don't remember. I was like, oh, you right, you did lose your mother and your father. And that's when it hit me, like God didn't want me to have this conversation just to have this conversation. He wanted me to have this conversation with somebody who's been there to kind of encourage me. Because remember, I already told y'all I was on my last leg, right? Last leg. Okay? And the one thing I want everybody to remember is God's going to do whatever he needs to do to keep you alive. You just have to listen. You just have to pay it forward. You have to pay attention to how he talks to you, right? So we're on the phone, we're conversating, and I didn't tell him I was crying, but I started crying. And he was like, yo, when I tell you I understand how you feel, and that shit never goes away, and nobody ever understands the pain that you feel when your parents are dead, like, and you can't call, you can't text, you still need advice at 30 something years old, because who the fuck else is going to understand you? Nobody. But I'm on the phone crying at this point, but it was like a silent cry, because I was like, I don't want him to think like, you know. So he was like, when I tell you I understand your pain, I understand your pain. And he was like, when my parents died, I had to grow up quick, like. And he was like, I can only imagine, and you're an only child. So not only do you have to grow up quick, my mother died when I was 35. She died when I was 35. To me, that's growing up quick, because most people have their parents until they're in their hundreds and whatever. My mother was 60 years old when she died, and she was murdered. It wasn't that, died of cancer. No, murder, right? So he was like, now on top of that, you have to be reminded every time you go to depositions, you go to court. He was like, trust me when I say I understand your pain. Okay. So he started giving me tips and tricks of like how to endure, which I did not expect from him at all. I did not expect that from him. And then it was kind of scary as well, because it's like the person that I thought would have been there for me on my very last leg was not there. Like, and I was screaming for help. It was not there. Didn't care. Right. So it goes to show, like, I don't want to say God will fire somebody and hire somebody else, but this is a perfect example of God will fire you and hire somebody else that's willing to speak a word unto his child, speak life unto his child. Like, and who would have fucking thought an ex would speak life into me? Okay, we're going to do another story about how God has been doing everything to keep me alive. And I swear to God, I'm not lying to you. But that's the story with him. But a lot of the times when God gives us something to do, we fight it. And a lot of the times the things that we don't want to do are the things that we are supposed to do. If that makes any sense. Like, when it's time, the Bible says, starting off with milk, okay? Starting off with milk is, oh, God, thank you. You go to church, everything's great. But baby, when God starts stripping you and it's time to feed you this food, because now it's time for solids and you got to do the things you don't want to do. Last night, I had to do the thing that I did not want to do. And it humbled me, because it showed me, like, God is going to do whatever he needs to do to keep me alive, regardless. I'm about to give y'all another story, but stay tuned.